This year's Memorial Day week is going to look so different than last year's Memorial Day week for many reasons. First reason, I got a call last Memorial week that my parents had been in a horrible boating accident where our friends who were like family members had died. It was the most horrific call I've ever gotten in my life. Meanwhile, holding the nuance, I was living my best life for the first time ever, traveling the world in Italy and falling in love, and about to launch the Queer Country Club before I found out about all this. And to make matters even weirder, I was invited to be on the same boat. And I said no because I wanted to go to Italy. It was such a crazy time. I went from Ibiza to a lesbian festival to Italy, ended up meeting someone who was my friend, and we ended up falling in love. And I'm getting ready to launch Queer Country Club, working so hard on the back end that month. And we had been just busting booty for both of our companies, and we went out and we had worked all day. It was like such a long day. And we went to eat so late at night, because you can do that at certain places in Italy. And we opened up a bottle of champagne and we were about to toast the champagne. And I got a call from my little sister. And the first thing she said was, "Mom and Dad are alive, but this is a really bad call." And I am losing it in that moment. The reason she told me all this is because when my dad called to tell her what had happened, the phone, like the service cut out. And so my little sister had to live for like, I don't know how long till they could get service again to call back, thinking that my mom was probably dead. So they start the phone call like that, but then have to break it to me that these women that I've loved my whole life, Geraldine and Macy, who are like family to me, are gone. And on a boating trip that my family was so excited to take them on, like a charter fishing trip. It was meant to be a joyful day. Miss Geraldine had just retired. She was a woman who lived her whole life sitting behind a desk and never lived. And her daughter was so precious, like a little sister to me. She would come in my closet when I was gone and be like, Sophia would text me, "Sophia, can I have your purse? Can I keep this?" or whatever. She'd go dig through my closet. And going back through those texts, I'm really happy that I didn't tell her no often, and that our last texts were so sweet, because she'd be like an annoying little sister. That's how close we were. And that's how shocking this news was to me. So I'm holding that pain, and then knowing I would have been on the boat if I didn't go to Italy. I always go with my parents to this lake on Memorial Day weekend if I'm not on another trip. It's just what I've always done my whole life. I was invited to be there that day. I know if I was there, wouldn't have made it. It's just not, it's not like me in such a situation to make it. I've talked about it. My mom shared a little bit. She was literally trapped under the water in a cabin, like Titanic level, with like a little bit of air to breathe, took a last breath and accepted her death, and then had to, it was a miracle, but she saw a light, which I believe comes from God, and she was able to swim out. Now, I don't understand why God showed her a light and she was able to survive, and why our friends who were like family, Macy and Geraldine, had to die. I don't understand God in that way. I'll never understand how God can let good people go. I think there's a lot of things we just can't understand. I don't want to try to understand because it would make me crazy, and I've tried for a long time and I can't understand. All I know is I would have been there that day. My mom almost died. My dad held open the cabin door, and if he wouldn't have held open that cabin door, then jumped when he did as the boat flipped over, if he wouldn't have held that door, they would have all been suctioned under the water and would have drowned, all of them. Somehow my mom And Geraldine's husband was able to swim out. And I'm so grateful to God that my mom's alive. But that Memorial Day weekend forever freaking shaped my life and will forever shape my life. And I left that trip from Italy, and I was obviously sad to cut my trip short, but I was so happy to know my mom was alive, and so grieving the deaths of people we love, but so happy my mom was alive. It was just it's so weird to hold grief and joy at the same time, y'all. It's so weird. Meanwhile, I'm also falling in love, and my then partner, I just asked her to be my girlfriend, and she's taking care of me as I'm having panic attacks processing this news. At one point, I didn't get to hear my mom's voice for 24 hours, so I was having panic attacks, convinced my mom was dead. No one wanted to tell me because I was overseas. Craziest time of my life. I also was feeling the safety of falling in love for the first time and thinking, not the first time in my life falling in love, but like falling in love with my ex-girlfriend and thinking, this is it. This is what it's supposed to be like, because she treated me so well. She was so comforting through everything that I was going through. I was having terrible panic attacks. At one point, I was convinced someone was like trying to kill us in the penthouse, like, because I hadn't slept for 48 hours after getting this news. So I was delirious and losing it, truly losing my mind. It's just such a weird time. There was so much joy. There was so much joy. There was so much joy that my mom survived. So much joy of traveling, so much joy of falling in love, so much grief that our closest friends who are like family passed. And my birthday is May 31st, which is right after Memorial Day. So it feels like these days would forever be shaped by what happened. And this year I was like, I want to do something that is going to reframe this, because not only do I remember the beautiful women who are just starting to live their life, just retired. Miss Geraldine just retired. I wish she would have gotten to live before that. This woman busted booty. Beyond just remembering them and remembering the joy of finding out my mom was alive, I now go through this year going, I won't be with that partner that I thought I was going to be with. So maybe like me, this Memorial Day for you, this Memorial weekend's coming up and you think, I'm not going to be with the partner that I was with last year, or the one that broke my heart 3 years ago and I still can't get over her. And I have these memories, maybe for certain holidays, maybe it's Memorial Day, but it hurts you. Like there's something about it coming up that's like, ugh. Or maybe you're just like, I know I need to do something different. It's time to do something different. I'm ready for something fresh in my life. That is why I'm hosting the next Queer Country Club retreat on Memorial Day weekend. Because I think we're all tired of holding on to memories with someone. Memories that hurt us in some way. For me, I would just ask my girlfriend to be my girlfriend in Vernazza, on the coast of Italy, stuffing my face with clams and drinking limoncellos together. And I was so happy, and I really believed in everything, and love, and like the future with this person. And it all came crumbling down. But that is not going to stop me from finding love. And that is not going to stop me from redefining different things. Like every year we all have to like reframe Valentine's Day if we're single again, reframe Christmas, whatever holidays. Well, for me, Memorial Day is a big one. So if you would like to come on this retreat and redefine that Memorial Day weekend together, it's not going to be an alcohol-centric event like people who just go on boats and party. Like that is not what this is about. This is a spiritual renewal experience, bougie lesbian experience, one of the world's most incredible spa resorts, Canyonranch, with me and a few other extraordinary lesbians, single lesbians. Then I would invite you to join, because if you're going to be sitting alone, or if worse, you're going to be in a crowded space, you're going to be at a party, you're going to be at an event, maybe even already told someone yes to go and hang out on their boat with their friends, but you don't want to do the same old, You're like, this year, 2025 is supposed to be different. Like, I'm looking for my wife. I'm looking for expansion. I'm looking for growth. Then do something different and forget about whatever that was and join us on this retreat, because this is going to be a once in a lifetime experience. There will be spiritual renewal. We're going to be working with guides at Canyon Ranch and have the experience of a lifetime together. Much of why I choose Canyon Ranch is not only because they're so queer and inclusive and bougie AF, like very luxurious, but very easy, chill vibes, like not over the top, like fancy vibes. It's casual energy, but really bougie. Is because they are going to be guiding all of us. Like, yes, of course, I'm going to be like enjoying dinners and leading conversations with us so we can have those intimate moments as a small group. But the guides are going to be there to be giving us our facial massage, the spiritual guidance, and leading us through beautiful activities throughout our trip. It's going to be world-renowned food, fresh, all-inclusive, tipless environment. This isn't where you go get your own, you don't get your own room. No, you get your own room. This ain't like you have to have a roommate experience. This is the lap of luxury and peacefulness. And if you'd like to experience this with me, we still have a couple spots open. I would love to have you join us. Go ahead and DM retreat, and let's talk about if this is the right getaway for you. Are you single? Do you enjoy the finer things in life? Are you looking for spiritual renewal? Are you looking for your future wife? Let's talk. DM me retreat. I would love to have you join us. I would love for us all to have a very different Memorial Day weekend with so much possibility, so much joy, and so much to be joyfully expectant of.